everybody, welcome back to the Youth Academy Challenge with Folkestone Invicta. It's the end of the second season, and how have we done? How did it go? What are the young players doing? This is where we find out, and I've got Feliz Navidad stuck in my head. If you're watching this in the past, it's currently Christmas time, and Feliz Navidad. So if I start breaking out into song, that's why. Let's get into it. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Save. Fellow managers, Merry Christmas. We're in that time of year where that is what needs to be said, and by the time you're watching this, I might be on holiday. I'm not sure. I think it's actually the next video after this one where I'm on holiday, so wish me a happy holiday. Wish everyone in the chat a Merry Christmas. Get all your Merry Christmases down in the discussion, in the comment section, all that good stuff. We are diving into the league table where we finished 14th in the Vanarama National League South. And not too bad, 61 points. We got 73 points last year, which would have been high enough to finish 8th. And last year, 73 points made we finish in 9th. So it is a little bit of a drop off, but not too bad. 46 games played, 16 wins, 13 draws, 17 losses with a -8 goal difference. But plenty of youth integration, which we'll get into in just a minute. So top goal scorer in the league was Louis Collins. Highest average rating was Danny Downey. So a youth player getting up there with the highest average rating. It was under a 7, which is slightly disappointing. But Kedman was up there, 13 assists. Unfortunately for us, he is leaving the club. So that is going to be a big loss. He's been our leading assist maker in the league for the past 2 seasons. Into the FA Cup, we got knocked out in the 4th qualifying round by Chelmsford City. Very irritating. Louis Collins, once again, our top goal scorer there with 4. Andre Coker was the highest average rating with 7.68. He was also the highest assist maker with 2. And then the FA Challenge Trophy, we got knocked out by a high-flying Barnet team in the 5th round, who actually finished 2nd in the league. Andre Coker, Louis Collins and Jens Albers all got 2 goals apiece in this. Danny Downey was the highest average rating with 8.2. And Will Dempsey and Jamie McLean got 2 assists each in the FA Challenge Trophy. So that is the overall look at all the competitions, which I think is how we're going to start every end of season review. Whilst we're here, thank you very much for all the support on the videos. The comments all get a reply eventually. I do look through all of them. I take everything on board, and this is a interactive, massive community post game series that we're doing, and I absolutely love it. So thank you all very, very much. For now, let's go and have a look at the XG table, because last time we looked at this, we should have been 6th, and I've not looked at it since then. So we finished 14th. In the XG table, we can't see it because the playoffs are happening. Brilliant. Well done, game. That is an embarrassingly crap piece of programming, isn't it? Well, I don't know where we should have finished in the XG. Can I look at it in terms of overview? If we go, let's go detailed, and then can you find in here expected points? Can you find in here? We're learning on the fly here. We're learning on the fly. I just want to check something. Salary, we're not the lowest. Transfer spend, we're not the lowest. Oh yeah, I guess people have made profit. Highest attendance, we're not the lowest. Lowest attendance was Concord. Average attendance by capacity, we're 10th. Wow, okay. Average attendance, we're 12th. I thought we'd be really, really low down. We don't top anything, which is fine. Possession, we're 6th, not too bad. Headers 1, near the bottom, basically. Headers 1 ratio, though, 16th. Yellow cards, we are top. We are top of the yellow card list with 92. Get in there. We're 2nd in red cards as well. Points per game. Maidstone are obviously at the top. Anyway, I was looking for expected goals over performance. Wow. Wow, we should have scored 4 more goals than we did. Okay, wow. Expected goals under performance is probably the better way to look at it, right? We were the 2nd worst team for expected goals. Okay, non-penalty expected goals. We're 2nd in the league for non-penalty expected goals. 75.9, and we scored 79 goals. Not bad. Non-penalty expected goals per 90. We are top. That means we're creating chances. We're just not taking them, which is the thing that we need to improve on, isn't it? Right, I'm not going to find what I'm looking for, but that was a nice little delve into some statistics anyway. Shame that we can't see the XG table, because I do think... Oh, it's working. We should have been 6th. We should have been 6th. We are 10 points off what we should have had. 20 more goals conceded than we should have done, and 4 goals scored less than we should have had as well. So yeah, I mean, technically take our chances. Playoffs, we're in the playoffs, so really not too bad at all. The squad, I think, is getting weaker next season with the loss of Kedman. We do have a couple of players leaving, actually. We got we'll touch on this now while we're here. We got Kai Mackenzie-Lyle into a new contract, which is really good. Another 1-year deal. He's here, no interest in him at the moment, and is happy with how the club's doing, which is good. We are keeping Callum Davies for another year as well. He'll be 34 at the end of next season, so I do think this will probably be his last season as the starting centre-back. Kedman is leaving. He's going on a free transfer. Hasn't got a new contract agreed. Just knows that he wants to leave Folkestone. As is Kane Penn as well. Actually didn't really play at all this season. Only 16 games. When you think we have a 42-game season, that's not that many at all. He has been surpassed? That's the wrong word. He's been surpassed by some young players in the midfield. But all in all, a very good season. If we look at the appearances then, Louis Collins is top with 53. He is our talisman up front, our goal scorer. He's still doing the business. That's great. Andre Coker is the second best player at the club, and he's the second highest appearance maker. 53 overall, 2 off the bench, or 51 starts, 2 off the bench. 16 goals and 13 assists, so good from him. Elliot Moore at right back, 10 assists, 4 goals and 51 appearances. Which is nice. If we look though, Brandon Gilbert is the 5th highest appearance maker of the season. He's also the top appearance maker for youth intake academy players with 50 appearances in total, 47 starts, 3 as a sub, 2 goals, 1 assist, an average rating of a 6.6. Not great, but we are thrusting him in and giving him a chance. I think that's fair to say. After him, we've got to go quite far down to find the next youth academy player that plays. It's actually Robert Jones up there with 36 starts, 5 sub appearances, 4 goals and 8 assists. So really not doing too bad, a 6.73. Danny Downey is probably the standout young academy player though. 22 starts, 20 sub appearances, so 42 appearances altogether. 11 goals, 2 assists and a 6.99, which did make him our best player of the season as well. And he's sort of coming along. It's hard to say he is coming along, but he is sort of coming along. I just wish he had more pace and acceleration because it'd be very good up front. We've actually been utilising him. If we change this pros and cons thing, I can't remember what I changed it to now. Is it analysis? Recent form? Is it recent form? Last 5 matches? No, that's the bar chart. Play contribution? No, although that is quite a useful thing to look at. No, don't look at, development. Games played in position. There we go. So we've utilised him more in attacking midfield than we have at striker, and that's where he got his higher average ratings as well, which is good. But of course, we weren't using an attacking midfielder last time you were here. This time, we are now using a attacking midfielder. The 4-2-3-1 is probably what we're sticking with. We've adapted it a little bit to make it more suitable for Folkestone. But weirdly, we have gone back to counter and counter press for the last half of the season, which went pretty badly. I think we're going to be taking counter off. I think that's knackering the players out again too much. But the 4-2-3-1 did produce some good results to start. And then as we got into the latter point of the season, it was a little bit tough. We did end the season with undefeated in our last 3 with a win and 2 draws. I mean, we probably should have beaten Concord. They're one of the worst teams in the division, and we only needed to equalise in the 90th minute. And Tunbridge was a very entertaining game. 2-0 down. 1-0 down, 1-1, 2-1 down, 2-2. Not too bad at all. But yeah, we did have some very good performances with it earlier on when we changed from the 4-2-4 to the 4-2-3-1. You see here 4 wins in the bounce, including an FA Trophy second round win over Maidenhead. Actually 5 wins in the bounce because we beat Barnet 4-3 in an absolute humdinger of a game, which was lovely. So I do think we're going to probably stick with the 4-2-3-1, not only because it does seem to be producing results. I will adapt our systems to see how we're going to be playing, because we probably shouldn't be playing a really high line. This is actually copied in from another one, and for some reason it hasn't saved the adaptation. There it is, Folkestone style. That's what it should be. That's what it should be. And then we're going to drop our higher defensive line down 1 like so. Because Callum Davies is not quick, Brandon Gilbert is not quick, and our other centre-backs are not quick either. But it's been a pretty decent season. I was going to show some highlights of some games, but now I can't remember which ones I wanted to show. So I'll focus on the tactical side of things for the moment, because the 4-2-3-1 allows us to push a few more people forward with this. I've talked about it before. The box for defence in front of the goalkeeper, right? 2 ball players. We've actually been switching them back to centre-backs. If you see here, there are centre-backs in the 4-2-4. We have been switching that back. This actually isn't the right system that I wanted to save, so God knows what I've done to get that wrong. But yeah, the box 4 is very, very strong in Football Manager to have 2 holding midfielders and 2 centre-backs that don't really go anywhere. We have throw up on take more risk, because that's more about risky passes rather than risky runs forward, and it allows us to sort of play a 2-4-3-1 because the wing backs push up to sort of this position, and it does, as you can see from Collins's goals, right, it is creating lots of chances for the striker. Now what we need to touch on is the attacking midfield, because we actually have our best under 18 player who came through our current system or most recent intake is Pete Daly, who has been playing as an attacking midfielder for the under-18s. He has only made 1 appearance, but did get a 7.2 and an assist. So I'd be tempted to give him a run next season in that attacking midfield role in here. His passing's not the best, but you've got to remember that, like, anything around a 10 is very good at this level. We are still non-league, still not even 1 division below the EFL, right? We've got to get promoted and then promoted again, and we get to the Football League. So I am wanting to give Pete Daly a run in the first team to see how he gets on. He is already 16, so that's not too bad. In fact, we're going to move him up to the senior team right now. While we're here looking at, it's not the under-18s, while we're here looking at the under-18s, it's a bit of a mixed bag, right? Because if we go and have a look at the data squad, that's not the one I wanted. I wanted my normal one, the squad view with homegrown. You can see that the ability-wise is pretty crap. The only one that's got 1.5 stars is Pete Daly, who we've literally just called up. And then other than that, I mean, 1-star ability and grey stars is not that good. Andrew Holland potentially has a chance just because he's got fitness, balance, aggression, flair and technique and can cross. So I'm not against giving him a chance. Tom Bowen, I'm leaning towards giving him a season in the under-18, see how he gets on, and then call him up if we need to. He's definitely not a striker, but could do a job at sort of central midfield. Warren Owen down here as well, not too bad, but technically very, very weak, but could be a good holding ball-winning midfielder. And then we have Adam Bedritsky, the centre-back, who is very fit, very determined, great leadership, good work rate, good teamwork, and really good at heading the ball for this level, but everything else leaves a little bit to be desired. So we are sort of struggling in terms of the youth players, which is what we thought would happen at the beginning, right? But we are struggling with players that are coming through. Luckily for us, again, that's the wrong screen, I'm all over the place today. Luckily for us, we actually don't have many players approaching retirement. Now, this save does get more fun when you're just playing with youth academy players and you're binding that team together and you're trying to hold them together when they're interested in them. But I'm not actually too upset that the Callum Davies is obviously getting older. He's going to be close to retirement. Kedman is leaving at 29. Andre Coker at 28 has probably got 3 more years left in him. Kai Mackenzie-Lyle at 28 as a goalkeeper has probably got 4 or 5 more years in him unless we get a really good goalkeeper coming through. Louis Collins is only 24 and he's scoring goals now, so he should be scoring goals for a while. So happy to keep him around for 6-7 years till he's like 30, 31, unless we get a good deal to make some money on him. Or he feels like he's outgrown the club, obviously, as well. Kane Penn is leaving. And then even then, like, if you consider all of these players, in fact, even if we put Louis Collins in there, right, get rid of all of them in, Kane Penn is leaving. But all of these players, and yes, there's some youth academy players in here, but all of them are under 25. This team has a lot of has a lot of good potential in it already, and I reckon you can add in Mackenzie-Lyle in there and Andre Coker to say that everybody here has got at least 3 years left in them for this Folkestone Invicta team, which is a great thing to have. It means we're not going to be chopping and changing too much. We can find a system that works for them and just pop in youth players when we need them to, which is ideal for a youth academy save. Absolutely ideal. When you think about Guiseley, when we did Guiseley, even a little bit of Toledo, but when we did Guiseley before on FM24, the amount of old players we had who we bought in and then like 2 years later were retiring meant we just had to chuck youth players in straight away, and it is detrimental to do that because ideally you want to give them game time when they're 18 or over. 18 or below, you sort of do want to keep them in the under 18s or under 21s getting youth football or sending them out on loan, but we can't do that. We need everybody here at the club, so we're balancing it as we go. But we are in a decent-ish position where we're still keeping some experience original player heads around for the first 3-4 seasons, and then it will be a youth only save. And with that, when we do get to the point when we're bringing in youth academy 11s and the whole squad is youth academy players, we'll introduce the regen face pack. We'll bring in more episodes with games to be played live and things like that. They'll probably be quite short episodes. I think we'll just do 1 or 2 games very quickly and then leave the review for the end of the season again. But we will be reviewing the players a bit more regularly and seeing who's playing where and who's doing well and stuff like that. So don't worry, that is coming later on in the series. But for now, we just want to accelerate through these first few seasons, get to the point where it's all youth academy players and start picking our favourites, basically. Because Danny Downey's up there as one of the favourites, but he could very well find himself being overruled this season if Pete Daly comes in and does a good job at attacking midfield. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, all in all, Season 2 was acceptable. We didn't get relegated. We were actually closer to the playoffs than relegation, which is lovely. It's been a pretty good season in terms of results. We started okay, picking up a lot of draws. We dropped off a little bit, went to the 4-2-3-1, picked up a lot of wins. The 4-2-3-1 seemed to be a lot more volatile, and then this period here between February and March, we really struggled, picked it up towards the end of the season, but not too bad. There wasn't actually enough time either to get young players in. We had the intake day on like the 1st or 2nd or 3rd of April or something, and by the time we got the email to sign them to contracts and they'd been judged and knowing the ones we wanted to bring in, it was 1 game to go in the season, so I didn't really chuck them in. We just kept it as it was against Tunbridge and played our starting team like we usually done, where Danny Downey got an 8 and scored in the 78th minute, which was lovely. But yes, we're starting to bring players through, we're starting to get there. Very happy with the second season. The last thing to touch on is obviously the finances. We are making the club money. We're up to £166,000 in the overall bank account now, and we will do the classic thing of asking for training facilities, asking for youth facilities, and we'll ask for improved youth recruitment as well, and just see what they can do. Hopefully we can pick up a few of the young good footballers around Kent and see how we get on. Now, Danny Downey, there was a couple of questions about where was he actually born. So if we go and have a look at his information, he was born in Folkestone. So he is a Folkestonian lad and doing well. Pete Daly, who could be replacing him relatively soon, also born in Folkestone. In fact, I should add this into a view that I've got. Let's go into here. As you can see, I've got all these views going on. I don't ignore the fact it says PACA view. Obviously, you can see on this screen the editor is not available in this game. I do not have the PA and CAs available on this screen. Like, it's just a view I set up and then named for a different save. It was on the Pogon Chesnin save where I put my Twitch followers and subscribers and stuff in the game so we could track their CA and stuff. But yeah, I don't actually use it on this. So DNA would probably be a good one to whack it in. Let's whack it in DNA and go insert column. I assume it'll be under general. Date of birth, place of birth. There we go. Right. Birth, city. So we have Sittingbourne, Harrow, London. Then the original players aren't done. Whitstable. Ayrton, oh, he's a German. Tollgate from Jamaica. Folkestone, St David's in Wales. Folkestone, Balaclava for Ricardo Briggs. Folkestone for Romeo Corey. Jamie McLean was born in Musselburgh. And then Danny Downey, Brandon Gilbert and Pete Daly all in Folkestone. So, yeah, not looking too bad. In terms of the under-18s, can we see where they were born as well? Is that going to save... straight note, it was DNA view, wasn't it, that I've just changed? Where is it? View DNA. Folkestone, Lime Hall for Tajan Fullerton, Stranraer for Billy Meir, Stranraer for Brendan Campbell, Benin City for Chidbrea Abdali, and Lipuzis for Adam Bedarditsky. Everybody else born and bred in Folkestone. There you go. What a lovely little review. Right, we will be back towards the start of Season 3, where it's going to get a little bit more on it, isn't it? A little bit more serious, a little bit more dependent on our better players coming through the youth system, but I'm looking forward to it. Please continue to leave your comments down below. Subscribe if you're new and leave a like if you enjoy the series. It's the best way to know that it's the best way to let me know that you want it to continue. That's what I was trying to say. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. There'll be a couple of videos before Christmas anyway, but I hope you enjoy it. Have a good time. See you in the next one. Cheers.